I am fat. I am so stupid. I'm ugly. And I don't deserve. Didn't leave me much joy throughout my entire life. That's how powerful a Post-it could be. You'll come to know that I love Post-its, by the way. And we women are shackled by these core beliefs that we get from somewhere. Some of you know exactly where you got yours from. Some of us don't remember what it was that happened to us or what was casually said, ha, 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 to then impact you so hard and so deep in your life. And what's interesting about core beliefs is that we develop them and then we take them with us everywhere we go, like our cell phones. And I think, even though there wasn't very much reaction, but I'm pretty sure that everyone can relate to something along this line. If these were not exactly your words, you have your words that you say. And I hope, in a nice little way, in the most gentle, loving way, that I've poked just a little, just to stir, not to upset. I was called fish eyes. I was called chicken lips. I was called thunder thighs and wide load. And that formulated my core belief or beliefs about me for my entire life. And if you would have told me at 13, which is roughly about the time I heard most of this kind of stuff, if you would have told me at 13, your thunder thighs and your wide load are going to take you to a Canadian national competition figure bodybuilding stage and be your winning asset, I would have told you you're absolutely insane and that's impossible. It happened. I'm not really a big stats person, but I found these stats very powerful. And I'm not a great mathematician, so just bear with me on the on the figuring of percentages. But we're just going to say that this half of the room, oh, by the way, you're all 13-year-old girls right now. And this half of the room, and a few of you ladies in this row right here, if you could all just raise your hand for me. All this side, and you three ladies here, yeah? That's 53% of 13-year-old girls who do think and believe wholeheartedly that they are not beautiful and that they hate their bodies. At 13. I get it, because I did. But I also didn't know that there was that many. I thought I was the only one. Now fast forward, we're all 17-year-olds, 4 years later. I'm going to say, this half of this group, and all of you raise your hands. 78% of 17-year-old girls hate their bodies and think they're not beautiful. And then jump 4 years to 21, because I'll just roughly say at 21 we're adults, I think. And if you 5 ladies could not raise your hand for me, and everyone else in the room raise your hand, and take a look around, that statistic is 96% of women worldwide, adult women, who think they are not beautiful and they hate their bodies. 96% of women. That's practically all of us. And that all coming from something that was said or done, creating our core belief. Sad. So we attach these core beliefs to our experiences in our adulthood. And some of us are very aware of it, and we just don't know how to express it. But what I find interesting is that this then creates the story that we tell ourselves about ourselves throughout our experiences, opportunities, relationships. And I'm curious to know, and obviously we can't ask everyone in here, but I'm curious to know, what story do you tell now based on what happened then? I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough for the job. They won't hire me. They won't pick me. He couldn't possibly want to date me. Whatever it is. And that dialogue affects the story that we tell, obviously, about ourselves, which we all know. But I'll bet you any money, it influences the story that you tell about another woman that you don't know. And we all do it. And before we can change that storytelling outwardly, we have to change that storytelling internally. And how do we do that? Well, here's the good news. I know, doom and gloom, right? Here's the good news. It's a woman's prerogative to change her mind. Yes? Do we all agree with that? Thank you. So then utilize, really milk it to change your mind. And I'm not talking about Starbucks, pumpkin spice latte, extra whip, no whip today. I'll change my mind. Just an Americano, please. I'm not talking about, although, hey, we make those kinds of mind-changing decisions all the time. But what I'm talking about is change your mind. Your mind is your thinking. Your thinking is influenced by your core beliefs. But those are things that happened at 13. You don't have to hang on to. You do not need to carry that baggage with you. And the sooner we do that, the sooner that we let go of that. How's my time, okay? Oh boy. Okay. Anyway, the bottom line is you have the power to change your mind. I told you I love Post-its. Your mind houses your thinking. And if you change your mind, I know you've heard the story, you change your life. Sounds cliche, but at the end of the day, that is the ultimate truth. Because it is not the importance of changing your job, or changing your relationship, or changing material things, or changing your body. The most important change that you need to make and work on making is changing those core beliefs. And it really is simply deciding, no more am I going to say that. No more am I going to think that. And how do I know this? Because I did it. Sadly, it took me 40 few years to do that. But if you do it every day, a little bit every day, on the simple things, you watch your relationships are going to change. Not just relationships with people, but your relationships with food, your relationships with things that make you uncomfortable. And hey, we all know what uncomfortable feels like today. Okay? But those lies, they don't have to be your truth. They don't. And you look around and saw all the hands raised by all the women, so you know that you're not alone. Even if we won't talk about it with other women, we all have felt it at some point, whether it's 13 or whether it's 43 or 63 or whatever. So my ask for you today is I want you to begin to write a new story, starting on a Post-it. Because that'll be the easiest baby step that you can take. And so before I reveal what my Post-it is, I want you to repeat after me. I change my mind. Say it again. I change my mind. One more time, and this time emphasize change and mind. I change my mind. And not in a coffee shop. Note to self, I change my mind. Start with that. On your bathroom mirror, on your car dash, on your office desk, whatever. I would then like to ask you, as you start to do this, take a selfie. I know some of us don't like to do that, but please take a selfie of you and your note to self. And then please post it on Facebook with the hashtag, and this is my ask, hashtag note to self, hashtag powHERTV with an H, and hashtag post it. And there's a reason why I'm asking for this. And I want you then to observe what starts to change. Watch what starts to change in your life as a result of doing that. And then I'm going to ask you to please watch powHER TV. Yes, shameless plug. I am one of the segment hosts for powHER TV, and my segment is called Note to Self. So, that being said, you will be able to see on powHER TV incredibly inspirational women who you will discover are just like you. In spite of what position they hold or what great thing they do, they're just like you, and you are just like them, doing something impactful in somebody's life in some way, making us more similar than we are different. The power that lies in a little piece of paper is more powerful than you can imagine. And I know this because I've done it for at least 2 decades now, possibly before there was even Post-its. Please change your mind. Thank you.